I haven't done any proper video I have never done a proper video in my channel. So my name is Muhammad Rilwan. You can see that I have going through many topics in my other social media pages. So like I would just one day I would just think about the semiconductors. Other day I would just wonder about how displays are, how we could make a better displays which doesn't bother our eyes, or how we could develop a brain computer interface, which chip should be in the brain without making any major consequences. So I just developing some kind of knowledge in the biotech as well. So what I'm saying is like spintronics, quantum photonics, topological insulators, and sort of things like bands. Uh, like conduction bands or valence band, how we could make something out of that. It's like if you could make a when you see that computing, you just have maybe heard about like a laser, uh, which is being a core component of what we making in the current world order. So just laser is a fascinating stuff. So when you think about the wavelength, the 13.5 nanometer is the, I think, the tiniest wavelength we could ever have been made. That's what we have using for the lithography, right? So laser impressed me a lot. So I just went to find out people who works in laser kind of thing. So there's many photonic computing companies. They do lasers, but not in the 13.5 nanometer. It's like a very high, thousand some nanometers, like infrared. They will go for that. So they do for defense. I just wonder what kind of work does in defense. I didn't just explore much more in that. Plus I always thought, like, if you could make a laser or something, let's say if there's a rocket, how could we make that in a home? That's a stupid question to ask, but it will teach us something about like what we could build, what we can do to innovate, something like that. So, oh, how that happened? Okay, I'm just talking about the game. Okay, now back to the topic. So uh, how we created the light. In the past, they had used the filament, and they heated it, and it released a photon and those other things. So I just wonder, so nowadays it's just going from band to band, and I just wonder about how it's like there's a kind of a hole and the electron, which I think the both of them coming to one side, and it going into something like in the hole, and electron falling into the hole, something like that, and which release a photons of that. What I'm trying to say is, uh, okay, I'm just coming back to the one point, like a spintronics. There's many things in that kind of electronics, because of electronics and other kind of electronics. There's many electronics. I just has to go back to. I just trying to remember what electronics is there. Electronics and motronics. I just forgot about that. And I just learned lots of things, and I just forgot about that. How could I forget about that? There's a lot of electronics. I still now forget about the differences between them. Like in quantum also being used as a sensor, so you could think from everything like sensors to computing. uh, how could you make a computing from the basics also might be a good question to ask. You don't think like I'm playing this game in the dumbest way. I'm just not focusing in the game. I'm just focusing on what I has to talk. So that is my main goal here. So what I'm trying to say is, I always wonder, could we just break this 0 to 1 thing? There's kind of a many kind of a new computing that we have proposed, neuromorphic, which is the brain's absolute structure, and other kind of a computer like uh, there's like a one computing which is works on the probability, like if there's a 75% of ones, it takes us a 1, or if less than 50% go for the 0. So if bit flips won't happen in that kind of thing. So I'm saying I'm not like a proper YouTuber, upload YouTube with every content written. I just talking what comes to my mind, what I think from my mind, those sort of things. So it will clear my mind also. That's why that's my intentions. Plus people will know what is my intention. So I just wonder what is the fusion also, like a big giant fusion, how it creates. Could it be making the smaller way? I mean, not just for energy. If you think that from the laser perspective, it makes sense, some sense, but it also contains lots of things. So what I'm saying is, uh, when you think about the photonics, about that, photonics play a huge role in the fiber optics. So it does lots of things for the sensing also. So you can focus on that as well. So I'm already working on that, about a data, some kind of a data, not some kind of a data. It's a seismological data. So what I'm trying to say is, geophysicists use that distributed fiber optic sensing much for their works, because it helps them in many ways. So when you take the fiber optics, also interrogators, which creates a laser and send it and get back the results, and it predicts what might have happened, those other things. So you can see the photonics play a huge role in many things. Signal processing, RF, radio frequencies, devices which based on that also play a role in many things. So in an interrogator, that what I say for fiber optic, which plays a role in that also for the signal processing. There's a DSP, they said, which the digital signal processing in it, which we could find it hard to make digital signal processing so much hard. So I think I'm talking with the people who can do that in that place also. So you can see that one technology complement other technology as much. And recently I just wonder, they made something like a liquid graphene, something like that. So by that I have to go by that also. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm so confused right now. So I don't know which way to run. But I know I can see there's some ways, like this is how the computing going to be shaped. Like you can't expect computing to be the transistor size, because when you pass the 0.5 nanometers, everything, you can't make transistors. So when you see the semiconductor industry, there's lots of layers, from etching, deposition to gases. Some people deliver gases and some people deliver masks. So everything going to be disrupted, and it's going to make lots of changes. And when it comes to deep tech, it's not easy as many other things, which many other things I mean by the software is important. We spend money, time into uh, do lots of improvement in that. But I'm saying, how many people are using softwares or like EDA tools to the benefits of future of computing? I just wonder that a lot. uh, Yeah, I know. I just contacted many EDA players also. Why there's a few players in the EDA? Because you can see it's also monopoly. So everything related to the computing hardware is becomes a monopolistic business. I don't want that to be in that way. So they said, the infrastructure that is a big. I mean, you should build that from the basic. So I just want to build the next generation of computing then from basics, which should be let more place to develop certain things, and it should be accessible to more people. That's what going to make innovations much more greater.